Hi guys, welcome back to snt-networks. In today's video, we'll be discussing about again a pivotal topic on cybersecurity and network security also because nowadays a lot of network engineers also have to work on this. So today we're going to be talking about IPS, Intrusion Prevention System. So what is basically IPS? Again, like how we discuss in our videos, we'll start with the basics. What is IPS? Why do we need it? How do we do it? How do we deploy it? And how it works. So IPS is basically a intrusion prevention system, right? And how it works is, see, now what happens is we have two network devices. One is a router, one is a firewall. Right? For now, we just saying this as traditional firewall. So what traditional firewall used to do is, traditional firewall would just inspect your packet as it was going, right? It will check the source port, destination port, and then it will check the source IP, destination IP, right? Just this. And you know and then basically this is what it used to check initially in the initial phases. And a router is a stateless device, correct? Now if you talk about a stateless firewall, it will check your six tuples, correct? Now but but so it was just checking your six tuple, it was just maintaining a session and letting you go. So it was not used for any advanced security features. So in the earlier phases, what we used to do is we used to add for additional security, we used to add a device called intrusion prevention systems, right? What an intrusion prevention system device would do is it would add an extra layer of security in your network, and it's for incoming traffic, correct? So you will add your intrusion prevention system here on this side. So considering you have two zones, this is exit zone, this is internal zone, or we'll just say external zone. Correct? So you'll add your IPS here. Same goes for this. You'll add your IPS here on the external zone. Got it? So this is where what it is where we deploy. Now what it is exactly doing. So intrusion prevention system basically filters your malicious traffic based on signatures and restricts unwanted traffic from coming into your network. Now let's go in a bit of detail and understand what exactly it does. First of all, we'll see how it's deployed. Okay. No. Let's see how it works, and then I'll tell you how it's basically being deployed, so you get a fair idea of how exactly it works. So consider this firewall. Now, earlier we used to deploy it somewhere here. Okay. This would be your IPS. Now what happens is we have moved on to next generation firewalls, NGFWs. Correct. Now what happens is it's a module inside your firewall itself. So it will be a module inside your firewall itself, just like other features that you get, just like NATing and all of that you get, right? IPS, IDS, ADP. Also, one used to be IPS, one was IDS, Intrusion Prevention System and Intrusion Detection System. This would just detect it, flag it, and then you have to do the needful. Prevention system would, just block it and then give you alert that I have blocked it. Okay. Now, most of them, what they do is they use IPS only. Okay. So, or they call it a single module called IDP. It will have the, usage of both. It will block it and then it will give you an notification also and ask you what you need to do with it. If you want it to be allowed or whatnot. But most of the cases, it will not let you allow it. It will just block it right there and tell you that I have blocked this particular packet. Okay. Now coming back. Now, how it works. So how it works is, so considering it is added here on the external interface and any packet is coming inside. So since it's a stateful firewall, it will inspect the packet. And through IPS or IDS or IDP, whatever you call it, it will inspect the packet and see if that packet matches any CVE. Okay. So CVE is a standard form of any vulnerability or a what do you call any malicious traffic. So if we have recorded any CVE, it will have a CVE score, okay, CVE ID, and the criticality. If it's high, critical, low, or something, whatever the level. Okay. So if I have that CV in my IPS, so my IPS will have a database. That database will have some sort of malicious IDs. Just like by IDs we call it signatures or CV ID. So for example, I have five malicious IDs: A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and a packet comes in and it has a malicious ID of F. Okay, I don't find it malicious because it is not mapped under my database of malicious ID. So I will let it pass. Correct? But it is still malicious. You get my point? It is still malicious, it is getting passed. And again, the same thing, normal traffic comes in where where there is no signature. So it will see that, okay, it's not matching for any signature of mine, I'll let it pass. So it's a valid traffic. It's a J or something. I'm letting it pass. But for this one, F, what we do is, just getting you a more overview, what we do is, since just for example, if this is a checkpoint, checkpoint has this database. Okay, now we talk about Cisco. Cisco will have a other database called A, B, C, D, F, J. So both of them will be blocked. Right, now I'm saying that this is malicious only, by the way. So A, B, C, D, F, all this will be blocked. All the malicious traffic will be blocked. Right, but F, like in this case, E will not be blocked. So you get my point. Every vendor will have their own database. Since every vendor will have their own database, they will block data accordingly. Now, for them, what you need to do is, if for me, on the CVE page, there's a actually standard CVE page. I'll basically post the link in the description. So if you want, you can go through it. Like only when you get the issue, you go through it because only then it helps. Now, I think if you want to go through it, what all CVE types are there, how it helps, right? How it attacks. It will give you a description also on what device. It will also have a description. Like this affects only, just for example, ASA this series. Just for example, this and that and this and that. So my point is, if some vendors will not have it, will not have that particular CV ID. In that case, what you need to do is you need to reach out to the vendor itself. You need to reach out to Checkpoint stating that for Cisco it is being blocked, right? For you it is not being blocked. Or you can even say that, for you guys, F is not marked as malicious. But actually out there in on the CV page itself, on the standard CV page, I see F marked as malicious. So it's a threat for me. I have also tried testing. It is not being blocked. Please block it. Okay, so they'll add it to their database, and probably in the next release, what they'll do is they'll add F here. So F will also be blocked. Okay, so this is how a simple IPS works. It'll just check the CVs according to its database, and then it'll work. And then it'll scan the packets, and then it'll block it. Okay, and then once the packet is blocked, you will get a trigger, or on the dashboard itself, you'll on your under your IPS section, IDS, whatever module you have, it will give you a notification stating that it is being blocked. So this is how a simple IPS works. But again, the process is by default, I'm not sure if it's enabled in every device. What you need to do is you need to add all the credentials of your cloud. So this will always be synced to a cloud. Just for example, this is a Juniper SRX. So there'll be a J cloud. Juniper Cloud or J Cloud, you need to map your credentials on this device itself. You need to map your credentials, user ID, password under your IDP section, user ID, password, right? That J Cloud link, okay, interval, how it's supposed to be downloaded or download now. So once it is downloaded, you can see the status on your CLI or your JWeb. So once it is downloaded, what you can do is you can basically go ahead and install it. So first download, install. What it will install? It will install the package. What is the package? Package is a signature database. So download, install. Once it is installed, you can create a IPS policy, IDP policy actually. In Juniper we call it IDP. Map it to ACL. That's it. So once that traffic goes from just for example, I have mapped the traffic for like IDP policy. Okay, from external zone to internal zone, any traffic. Okay, any port and should match any traffic, any port, then implement which policy? IDP policy. It'll map that policy, it'll check it, and then once you're testing, then you can do is you can check the status first of all, if it is up or not. You can put the license. By the way, this also requires a license. Most of the most of the vendors will require a license. Whether it is Checkpoint, Firewall, in Checkpoint, Firewall, Palo Alto, whatever, right? Cisco, Sophos, they all require a license. So once that is done, you check the status if it is up or not, and once you have tested, you can just take this, what do you call statistics? Just check the stats. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. Stats. So you can just check the stats, and you will see by IDP policy this and this, two packets or one packet are being blocked as per the signature you shoot. Okay, so this is how a basic IPS works. I think I went into a lot of detail, right? But my videos will always be you know like network engineer specific, not very layman, right? It is in the beginning I try to be as layman as possible, but I make sure that all the network engineers who are trying to refresh, right, are basically able to refresh very easily, because we all have somewhere worked in this tech. But yeah, it's very soon I'll also help you configure IPS on one of those firewalls. Probably we'll start with Palo Alto or something. So I hope this was a helpful video for you guys, and I hope you liked it. Thank you.